upper limits. Upper limits, and this tool that we're gonna go through, is a tool for breaking out to choose a bigger game. Right? When you're aware of the pattern, but still can't really sustain the change, it means you've met your expansive edge. Here, the work to expand what we allow. And this is where we have to release judgment, integrate shadows, choose better problems, and have a bigger road. So the best analogy really to connect this all is we will forever have patterns in our life. We will forever have goals that we're trying to do, break, and achieve, whether it be a habit, a health habit, a money mindset, a business goal, whatever it might be. We'll always have a pattern. And what I'm trying to say here is that if we can use a tool like the upper limits reset, we can essentially go to higher and better patterns. And we can keep doing this again and again and again and again and again. Now, my grandfather, I know he's not the original quoter of this, but he always used to say this to me, is in life, you'll always be stressed about something. So you might as well play a bigger game. So many of us think, when X, then I won't be stressed, right? But I'm here to tell you, even if you're a multi-millionaire with your dream home and your dream partner, you're still going to be stressed about something. You're going to be stressed about who's the current president or prime minister. You're going to be stressed about some potential war that's breaking out. You're going to be stressed about some annoying family member that always says something triggering. Like, no matter what you do in life, your body and brain will find a way to be stressed about it. So we might as well play big games, right? Who's enrolled to play big games? Or you just freak out and run away? Julie's enrolled. Number one fan. Appreciate you. So this is, again, upper limits, just like patterns, is there are a million ways, or 500 ways to my books, of how to break a pattern. Upper limits is equally the same. There are so many ways we can grow and elevate ourselves into new paradigms. There's work in manifestation, there's work in quantum jumping, there's work in elevating your environment, your people, your surroundings, mindset tools, mindset practices, you name it. There's so many modalities and tools. But I want to share one today because I'm going to share a deep one today because I was really sitting with it. I was like, do people really want to do this on a free challenge, Delaney? And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? Why not just throw people in the deep end? And it's around resentment and judgment. We think we're blocked by circumstances of self-sabotage. We think we're blocked by some next milestone in our business, next milestone with our money, next milestone in life, in love, whatever. But often the glass ceiling is built from quiet resentment. The people or qualities we've made wrong. What you resent reveals your upper limit because you cannot grow beyond that which you judge. This distinction of upper limits I'm sharing is resentment and judgment. It's what's called a negative emotional loop. We have hundreds of layers of emotions that we have to do so much work to break through, but this particular one is sneaky and tricky. And you won't want to admit it. You won't want to say, no, of course I don't resent those people or judge those people, but it goes even deeper than that. But resentment is usually a projection. What triggers you and others is showing you an aspect of yourself that you disowned. And you cannot receive that which you reject. You following along? This is the best analogy. We don't need to go into the story. That's not what we're going to do today. But once upon a time, say for myself, I used to resent quite wholeheartedly the aspect of a solo entrepreneur. All I ever wanted was team. All I ever wanted was people to help me and my mission. And I felt so triggered by selfish people. This oozed into my relationship. This oozed into my friendships. This oozed into every area of my life. Because at the end of the day, human beings are kind of selfish and are kind of, caring. And this really impacted my business because I was waiting for people to want to help me. And I thought, oh, they're so fucking selfish. Now, TLDR, I grew up with a disabled brother. And in my household, and the little boy in me at one point grew up realizing that selfishness was bad. Don't be selfish. We need to put my brother's needs ahead of all of our own. His needs matter first. So don't be selfish. And this part of me that wanted to do my own thing, that wanted to charge ahead and do what I wanted, that wanted team behind me, that little boy, that little part of me in a room that is my castle, or part of my personality, the door got shut and that got closed off. And that little boy was still trapped in that room. But as you can imagine, if you trap a child in a room for a long time, what's going to happen? They're going to start getting very angry. They're going to start getting very frustrated. They're going to start getting very annoyed. And every single time that little boy would look through the keyhole and see someone being selfish, see someone doing whatever they felt like doing, he would get angry or triggered because he wasn't getting to express it. He wasn't getting to be it. So anytime you're angry, frustrated, or resentful of others, it's simply a mirror of something within yourself that you haven't unlocked. A part of you that you locked away a long time ago because of some reason. Your next level already exists. If you see it, you got it. And it works both ways, positive and negative. It's just sitting behind a part of you you've been unwilling to love, admire, or fully own. A few examples. If you resent wealthy people, you're going to block abundance. If you resent being people who have lots of big following, you're never going to be seen. If you resent structure, you're going to stay chaotic. Some more money ones. You resent people who talk about money, so you're going to stay broke to feel pure. You resent people who charge high prices, so you're going to undercharge to stay liked. You resent people who make money easily, so you're going to keep your hard-earned to feel worthy. You resent luxury or flashy success, so you dim your own achievements to stay relatable. You resent people who invest big, so you stay small, so you don't need to take risk. And I have tons more examples. I might just do the leadership one and then the self-expression. You should be feeling very triggered right now. Your heart should be racing. Resent people who self-promote, so you hide your gifts and call it humility. You resent confident speakers, so you silence yourself to avoid judgment. You resent influence or people doing less but seen more, so you overwork quietly to prove your worth. You resent leaders who delegate, so you micromanage and burn out to prove your value. You resent authority, so again, you resist being an authority. If you can't, I learned this lesson very hardly, if you can't be led, you can't lead. Structure and discipline. If you resent people who love routine, you'll stay in chaotic and never feel free. You resent people who plan everything, so you avoid planning so you can blame uncertainty. I know all of you very well. Resent high achievers and stay inconsistent to protect your comfort. You resent people who say no easily, so you overcommit to feel needed. Relationships. Resent people who rest, so you glorify burnout. You're always busy, always doing. Resent people who prioritize family, so you feel guilty for working hard. You resent people who have strong boundaries, so you call it selfish. Resent people who express anger and suppress yours and implode later. Resent people who need help to receive support from yourself. Oftentimes, if you're a helper, or actually oftentimes people who you help a lot, they'll actually end up resenting you, but that's a deeper concept in relationship work. And then finally, self-expression. If you resent spiritual or woo-woo people, you're actually completely cut off from your intuition to appear smart. Resent logic or strategic people, so you avoid structure and call it flow. My woo-woo is going to be triggered by that. Resent people who reinvent themselves, so you can stay in your old identity to feel safe. You resent people who move fast, You overthink to stay in control. Or you resent people who move slow because rushing makes you feel superior. I am triggered because there's obviously a few there. That last one got me good. I'm going to have to write that down. I'm going to have to work on that one. Rush. See, there's always another layer. So you can't expand into what you judge. Simply put, right? Think about all the money things you have. You want money, you want abundance, you want freedom. Yet you judge people with money. You judge people who buy the nice handbags. You judge people who buy their desserts. You go out for friends and you, I don't know, go out for dinner with friends and you're like, why are you getting the $60 steak? You just make that at home, you know? Every resentment is an edge. It shows you what you're disowning. Every single time a human being triggers you, think, what a gift. I just got an access. When you practice that shift of what a gift, what a gift, what a gift, you will be unleashed and you'll get so much energy back. And then finally, if you judge the game, you'll never let yourself play it. So now that you're nice and triggered, do some reflection. Identify who triggers you. This is the first step. Could be a person, could be someone on social media, could be something I do. Who knows? Just who triggers you? I'm sure you've got a load list, a long list. Name the quality that they represent that you may have made wrong for them. Just name it. You know what it is. And if you need help, of course, we got time. Find the mirror. Where is the quality also alive in you, positively or negatively? Now, positively or negatively is interesting. So say, for example, you can be triggered by someone's good behavior, something someone's really good at. And like, oh, they just make social media seem so effortless, right? It's like it's positive. It's not necessarily a negative trait. It also shows that you see it, you got it. So there's something in you that you know that you can make social media easier, or you can make money, making money easier. It's in you, something there. Number four, step four, reclaim it. Now, this is the last two steps is probably we're going to need some coaching because you will resist it. So how could that very quality serve you if you integrated it and expressed it consciously? So you unlocked the door, you opened the quality, and you let that part of you have some time in your day, right? It doesn't have to be your new personality, but just like a time in the day where, say, for example, my selfishness, right? I created with Brownie, like Friday is my selfish day. No friend hangouts, no date nights, nothing. Friday night is my night. And I do whatever the fuck I want, right? But in the rest of the week, I'm conscious, helping, amazing, supportive Dalaney because that's my natural born talent anyway. But I had to find a safe space for my shadow, if you will, my selfishness to express itself healthily. So then it didn't build up and resent and blow up and be angerful or exhausted. And then finally, step five will anchor it. So this is the real hard work. We've got to admit it. Okay. But resentment is just resistance dressed up as righteousness. When you release judgment, you'll instantly raise your ceiling. Instantly. Instantly. You'll completely see completely new paradigms of business and life and love and relationships and making money and all the things. Like instantly making 100K a month will be easy because you've stopped judging people who make 100K a month.